after the Second World War, there were institutions set up in order to strengthen democracy and human rights. We worked hard to ensure that women were equally represented and that marginalized people were represented at the highest levels, the indigenous, the differently abled, those who are defined as other. We will not progress until we actually recognize that without the voices of all, the whole is less and the whole is compromised. In Beijing, we sought, and all countries agreed, to at least 30% of women in parliament, with a goal of 50%. Because it was a human right, but we also recognized that because of how women were socialized, to value people, to value caring, to be more kind, to be more empathetic, that it was critical for them and their voices to be at the table. We also recognized that women were closer to the earth. They were the bearers of water and firewood. In Nairobi, I stood on the steps of the Nairobi Conference Center in 1981 when Wangari Maathai, who became a Nobel Prize winner, the leader of the Green Belt movement, brought women to tell us that they had to walk further and further for water and firewood, and something was happening to the earth. They were talking about the climate change in 1981. They didn't use those terms, but because of their experience, they were telling us that the earth was changing. Now we are trying to pick up the pieces. Because they were just barefoot women from the country, nobody took them seriously. Vandana Shiva in India, the women who protected and defended, the women who hugged the trees because they were being chopped down. The trees were the source of their firewood, the source of their homes, their source. They recognized that the trees were important for our survival. These are grassroots women who have knowledge and who have been ignored. The people who are considered to be marginal and poor are not listened to. The disabled do not have a voice. We have to understand that until we include all, that we make a space for the young to have their voices heard, for the communities of people who do not normally sit at the table to be there. But with women, half of that group, that we are going to keep going backwards, that we are going to keep moving back into violence and war, because peace is the heart is the essence of peace. Until we understand that there is external power and internal power, that internal power begins with love and kindness and empathy and compassion, and that water wears away stone. Having a position is not the be-all and end-all of power. It is one dimension of power. And we have to recognize and teach our children kindness, peace matters, mutual respect, how to express their emotions without being castigated, as the boys being told that they shouldn't cry. We have to stop and take note that we are endangering ourselves and the earth, the well-being of our children, if we continue going down this trajectory. So wake up, inclusive democratic governance is the key to our well-being, and it begins with us. And it begins with kindness and the respect and recognition that each human being matters, regardless of race, religion, sex, gender identity, economic position, or their level of their physical, we call the differently abled. We have to understand that we are all human and that this earth is our home.